Hi gang, this video is aimed at Latin 2, but actually it's pretty useful for really anybody. I may be aiming it at level 2, but actually this is not unuseful for level 1. Not that I have any right now, but if this video is up in the future and you're a level 1 kid stumbling onto this, yeah, go ahead and watch it, it's fine. Or for that matter, even if you're like in level 3, 4 AP, this is just kind of a good little fact, which at some point I probably have told you already, but maybe you need a reminder of it. Um, and it's not about a thing that's complicated, but it's still about a thing that might throw you off if you're not paying attention. And it's a real simple thing. It has to do with prepositional phrases, right? Good old prepositions. Prepositions don't tend to throw a lot of people off because as long as you know what the preposition means, then it's pretty easy to figure out the phrase, right? If you know that odd means to or toward, then obviously this means to, and then whatever that means. Or if you know that e or x means out from or out of, then you know this means from, whatever that means. And it's the same way with a lot of your prepositional phrases. And the two sentences that I have up here, while they might use some nouns that you're not used to, they're pretty simple sentences that are very similar to things you would see in a level 1 textbook. Not just the ones that we use in our class, but any level 1 textbook. What the top one says is, I was walking to the horse pastures, right? What the bottom one says is, Leia came out of or left the bathroom, or she came out from the bathroom, right? Real simple things, a place to which, a place from which, simple stuff, right? There's nothing weird or complicated about that. The weirdest and most complicated aspect of either of these sentences is what the bathroom smells like when Leia comes out of it. She's so small, and yet the smells she makes are so terrible, right? But grammatically, these are easy sentences. But then, here's the weird thing, is sometimes you see sentences like these ones, right? This is Helio. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Helio is my horse buddy. I live near some horses, and Helio always gives me the hearts. So anyway, Helio went home, or Luke departed from Rome. And the thing about this is, these are, when I translated these in English, these are prepositional phrases, but there's no prepositions in these sentences. And if you saw these sentences or ones extremely like them in your textbook, they wouldn't have prepositions either. So why? Like why do these sentences need prepositions and these ones don't? It seems kind of random. Like Helio going home or going to home is still a place to which. Where's the odd? Why isn't the odd there? Luke departing from Rome, that's a place from which. Why is there no or e there? Like, what is going on? It's so frustrating. Well, here's your little handy trick for knowing when the Romans are going to use a preposition and when they're not. All right? Now, to be clear, this is not a trick I thought of. I am not the clever person. I learned this from one of my professors in college. Perhaps she made it up, or maybe she learned it from somebody else too. I actually don't know. But the trick that she taught me in college was dirt words. You see, generally speaking, if you are trying to say that, somebody or something is going towards something, you're going to use odd plus the accusative. If you're trying to say that somebody is coming from or away from something, then you're going to use ob or x plus the ablative. That's the normal way. But there are certain words that they just don't worry about it with. There's certain words that it's basically just so obvious that you're going to or from the place that as long as it's just in the accusative or the ablative, you just assume that that's what's going on, and you just have to know which words they're likely to do that with. And it's dirt words, all right? And what dirt stands for is a couple of different things. You see, the words domus and rus, which is the word house and the word country, are words that they do this with. They don't bother putting the odd or the x or the odd or the ob. They just don't worry about it. If it's in the accusative, you're going to home or you're going to the country. If it's in the ablative, you're going from home or from the country. So that's what the D and the R stand for in dirt. They stand for these two specific vocab words that the Romans like to do this with. The I and the T are a little different. That stands for islands and towns, because the names of islands and towns do the same thing. If you're going to the island or to the town, or if you're going from the island or from the town, you don't need to put the preposition. You just need to put the name in the accusative or ablative, depending if you're going to or from. All right? Now, this is not the name of every place. There are places that are not islands and towns. If you're going to a province, for instance, they're not going to do this with the province name. But, when you have something like just like the name Rome, they do it almost invariably. Um, and then there's one other dirt word to account for, in addition to domus, the names of islands, rus, the names of towns. There's also, actually, believe it or not, the word dirt, humus. Humus is the Latin word dirt, and it is another dirt word, which is actually what makes this little mnemonic trick so handy, because not only do the four letters stand for four things, but also it means something in Latin that also, again, if you're going to the dirt, you don't need the odd. You just put humus in the accusative, and if you're going from it, then you just need it in the ablative. Now, this is only when you're going to and from things. Like if you're talking about some other prepositional phrase, if you're talking about surrounding the city, or if you're talking about, flying above an island. The Romans probably wouldn't do that, but we have airplanes. If you're doing something like that, then yeah, use the prepositional phrase like you normally would. But if you're just going to and from these places, you don't need the preposition. All right. But if you're going to and from anything else, make sure that you use your odds and your x's or obs as appropriate. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.